Okay, so welcome for the good evening all. Welcome to the small demo about the Google Cloud platform. So here we will be seeing what are the topics I'll be covering in the Google Cloud platform course. Plus we'll be seeing a small lab where we are going to create a compute engine, and over that we are going to deploy an Apache web server. So let's start. So this is about myself. My name is Arjun. I am having over 9+ years of experience in IT industry, and from last 4.5 years, I am working on Google Cloud platform. So I am involved mainly in Google Cloud migration and infrastructure kind of a projects. So this course will be focusing mainly on the Google Cloud infrastructure kind of services and all. And I have certifications in Google Cloud Associate, Google Cloud Professional Architect, and the Google Cloud Digital Leader, which is the recent certification which GCP has just introduced.
Yes, Richard.
Okay, so what I'm expecting anyone who is taking this course is you need to have at least some intermediate. If your background is from system admin or network admin or operating system admin, Linux admin and all, then that will be fine. Or anyone who is interested to cloud domain, moving Google to Google Cloud domain, or for people who are coming from college or who's not having any other experience, I will expect you to have some intermediate kind of knowledge about basic system administration, networking, and operating systems.
From March 7th to 18th, I was not available. It was, yeah.
I think someone has.
No,
Can you please go on mute?
yes, I can pull it up. And from my pay stub, yeah. Can I see the actual hours?
Okay.
Yeah, let me pull it.
Okay. 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 You're asking questions to me. I thought. Hello.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah. You're
EDD. Okay.
yeah. Sure. Yeah. You have any question for me?
Okay. It's opening up. Yeah. Okay. Current. Yes, yeah. I see. Okay.
Okay. So this is the agenda of today. Now we will be. This is like brief agenda. Like what we'll be going. What is the introduction about the cloud computing? Then we'll be going over the Google Cloud Console overview. Then, as I said, we will be provisioning a compute engine. Then we are going to deploy an Nginx web server. Then we will be seeing what are the storage services available in the Google Cloud and how the networking is defined in the Google Cloud.
Can I ask you a question, sir?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you a quick question. So towards the end of the course, do we have any projects? How many projects do we have, or don't we have any projects?
It is not like like I'll be going to the compute engine and I'll be seeing one lab. It is not like that. What I will be doing is like, just give me a minute.
No, I mean like a project, like a full-blown project.
You will be seeing about a migration project, like how we are going to migrate services from AWS to Google Cloud. So for that, there is a lab environment available. So the lab
Okay.
environment is only consist of how the migration happens. But the thing is we will be going through what are the things happen before the migration. Like for example, if you are going to migrate any application for the customer, so you will be going through what are the questions you need to ask the customer, and as a migration engineer, what are the questions you can expect from the customer, and which are the teams which is actually working in the migration. So normally in any big enterprise level migration projects, there are actually three teams involved. Let's say you are from a cloud consulting company, and there will be another
Yeah.
client who wants to migrate their system, plus there will also be a vendor which is from the, let's say in this case, from Google. So the actually three parties will be involved in a complete migration projects. So
Okay. Okay. Okay.
okay, since I have experience in that project, like in actual migration project, so I'll be explaining through all the phases of the migration. What are the pre-steps, post-steps, and what happens during the migration, which is the tool we are going to use in the GCP. So those kind of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so regarding cloud computing, it is nothing but it is a delivery of different services through the internet. So it can be the services, if you take any cloud vendor, right, like AWS, GCP, or Azure. So the main services which you have is like compute. So under compute, it will be like your virtual machine, can be your Linux or Windows machine. Then you can have your databases and your networking services like firewalls, VPCs, security groups, and data storage and other databases also. So this is actually the main difference between the data center and the cloud. Like if the as a customer, if you are hosting all your data in a data center versus if you are hosting everything in the cloud provider like GCP, AWS, or Azure, these are the main difference. Like in on-premise, your user is having full control of the data center, but in the cloud, the actual physical security of the data center will be taken care by the vendor itself. So as a customer of a Google, AWS, or Azure, I need not to worry about the physical aspects of the data center. And as I said, like all the maintenance works, like the power, electricity, everything will be taken care by the uh, cloud if you are moving with the cloud services. So we will only pay for the services which are provided by them. It is more like a subscription model. And if you are going through like if you are hosting everything in a data center, then it is not easy to scale. It is easy to scale, but the thing is, like, let's say in next 2 weeks you need another 10 to 15 machines. So it will be having huge cost, and so that will be another disadvantage if you are hosting everything in data center. But whether in cloud infrastructure, like if tomorrow if you need 10 to 15 machines, you can easily provision that. You just need to do it in a click on a button. And upgrading the software is difficult task in on-premise, but in cloud, based on the service model which you are using, everything will be upgraded. So this is like one of the main simple example of a cloud computing is like how you are using your Gmail or your Google Drive, where you can access that from anywhere from from whichever devices. The only requirement is like you can access that from anywhere from from whichever devices. The only requirement is like you just need to have an internet connection. And if you have the cloud also, your organization just need to have an internet connection. And if you have the cloud subscription and everything, then you can able to access your resources if it is hosted in the cloud. Okay, so this is kind of a comparison which I made, right? Like, what are the difference? Another difference, like if you are owning a car, like owning a, if you are using any rent a car services, so initial down payment, like just compare this to the data center. Like if you are starting a new company and if you are going to have a big machines and all, then you at least you need to have a great let's say capital investment for the data center, for the real estate and everything. But in case of cloud, you no need to do anything. If you just request for the cloud provider, then they will be providing all the infrastructure and everything. And yearly maintenance service cost, that will be taken care by the uh, like the cloud provider if you are using that. Whereas in case of data center or in case of owning a career, you need to do everything. and upfront investment. Like I said, right, like in next 2 weeks, if you need another 15-20 minute machines just for only 2 weeks, then you need to like get approval from your finance team, like I need for the huge investment. But whether it go compared with the cloud model, of course, you need approval from the finance team, but you will be saving a huge amount of money if you pay as you go model. So this is actually the picture of a Google data center that is in US. So these are some of the application of cloud which we use in our daily life, like Gmail, Dropbox, Google Drive, and OneDrive, which from Microsoft. Okay, so this is one actual real-time scenario of the cloud. For example, if you're let's say if you're working in a shopping cart company, like let's take an example of Amazon or Flipkart, and they're planning a big billion day next week, right? So what are the main challenges of big billion day, right? For example, in a normal like in a normal business days, the average this is just the average, just a rough number I'm calculating. Like the average users visiting your website is like 100 users per hour. But in the big billion days, since then there will be huge discounts and there will be huge offers, the number of users logging into the website will be high, right? So instead of 100, it can be 500 or 1000 or 1200, something like that. So if number of users are increasing, then your system need to handle that load, right? So how are you going to do that? So you are going to do either by increasing the number of the existing capacity of the server, or you can increase the number of servers. Okay, so in, let's say, if you are like your infrastructure is everything you have hosted in on a data center. So only for big billion day you need to have these many investment, like only for big billion day you need to buy those servers, you need to get the licenses, then you need to do the maintenance and everything. And once the big billion day is over, we can't decommission the server, so it is like a huge loss of capital. But whether in kind of a cloud like scenario, like big billion a day, let's assume it is happening like once in 2 months or once in 3 months. So once in 3 months only we can provision additional server, like let's say the company is having 20 server in a normal day. So big billion day, the companies, that we can increase the number of servers into 20-25. And once the big billion day is over, we can decommission the additional server which we just created. Okay, so we only need to what we are doing here is like we are only paying for the servers only, for that, yeah, for just 2 days or 3 days. So after that we are going to decommission it. So that is one of the advantages of using cloud computing. It is like so the concept here, it is nothing but auto scaling. So you can scale the number of servers based on number of like the based on CPU utilization, or system capacity, or the number of user you are logged in. So there are so many metrics. So based on metrics you can scale up or scale down the servers. uh, One good scenario is like we can configure in such a way, like okay, if the load of the server is 80%, then provision 5 more machines. And if the load of the server is below 80%, then we will be creating a threshold value, it's like 4 machines. So something like that. Okay, so this is the same thing which I explained earlier. Like for a big billion day, right? If you are in a data center, what you'll be do will be dealing have to deal the thing of the cost of the buying the servers for just one big billion day. But management overhead is also there. You need to install the software, then you need to set up the servers and everything, wiring and everything we need to do. And whether it comes to cloud, we can only create server based on our demand, and easy to manage using cloud console. So no need to do the extra manual labor of installing, then setting up on the rack and everything, cabling, powering, etc. So why the companies are moving to the cloud, right? So one of the main reason is flexibility. We can increase or decrease the infrastructure based on the scalability. So I said, right, like the big billion day. So only for that day I can add another 5 servers, and the next day I can just decommission it, and I'm going to pay for only I only have the extra payment for the just 5 days. And the cloud computing, another thing is like all the software updates, everything will be taken care by the cloud itself. And the expenditure will be like the capital upfront investment, so that will be less for if you're going with the cloud computing model. So this is kind of a deployment service, like how we are going to deploy the cloud service. So there is something called as infrastructure as a service. So in infrastructure as a service, we'll be okay, I will show this one. So this is like the on-premise here, like the whichever which is marked as blue, right? So it is like everything will be managed by you. Here you can see, right? And so next model, these three are cloud computing model. So the next is infrastructure as a model. So if you are choosing with infrastructure as a service, right? So from the operating system, middleware, runtime, data, application. So these things will be handled by us. So the one good example is like the if you in Google Cloud, it's like compute engine. So compute engine, we can select the operating system, and the operating system we can install our software like Apache or something like that. Then we can insert the data, and we can access that application. And platform as a service is like we cannot select the operating system. We will be going only with the data and the application. And software as a service is like everything will be controlled by cloud. The user will be not having access to any of the things. So I'll just do a lab demo right now. Okay. So this is a website called the Stuklab, which will be providing all the environment by the Google Cloud. So we'll try to see this. You can either start a free tier account, or if you are having any issues starting with the free tier account, then you can use the Stuklab account. So it will give some 1 month access to all the Google Cloud environment. So we'll just click. Okay. Launch with all credit. Okay, so the lab environment has started. So I'm going to open this using incognito path. So this is my temporary username and temporary password. This lab will be decommissioned after 1 hour, 30 minutes. Okay, so our lab environment has just provisioned. So okay, so Just wait a second. I need to accept some terms and conditions. Console is low forms. Okay, so here I am. So in search button, I am. We'll be seeing how to deploy a how to let's help us how to create a Linux machine, and top of that, how to deploy a virtual like an Apache web server, right? Or Nginx. So the that service name is Compute Engine. So we can go and search here. So okay, so we can the console is ready. So we can go and create the instance. Hide info panel. Okay, so this is the name of the instance which we can specify. So here we can do as my app, and the next thing is like where I want to deploy my machine. So let's take an example, like if the my customer is US based and it's based in Iowa, so I'll be placing it in Iowa, right? For similar to that, Google have data center in across all across the globe mostly. So if you take in India, we having in Mumbai and Delhi. So Delhi has just came up recently. Earlier it was there was only one data center in Mumbai, and in every region they will be having separate zone. Plus, I mean more than three zone they will be having. So in US you can see I can have one A, one C, one F, one B. So this is more like doing for redundancy and all. And in top you can see, right, this is just the approximate cost they are saying. It can vary, but it will be it will be in this range. Like if I'm spinning up this machine, right, then I'll be expecting a monthly cost of 25 26 dollars. And next thing is like the machine class, right? So how big my machine should be. Like if I want two CPU with 1 GB, or two CPU with 4 GB, or if I am going to run any high performance application, then I'll be going with the high end like 32 CPU and 32 GB like that. So this is just a simple app I'm going to deploy. So I'll be selecting the basic one, and this is like the boot disk. So here we'll be specifying what type of operating system I'm going to uh, provision in my machine. So here in operating system, you can see GCP is having almost all flavors of Linux, like CentOS, Debian, Fedora, OpenSUSE, Red Hat, Linux, and Windows also it's there. So if we select Debian also, so inside the Debian also, these but versions are available, 10, 11, and 9. So it is similar for all. If I select Red Hat, then also more than 2 or 3 versions will be available for Red Hat. Then Windows also it's available, and this is like the boot disk size. So if by let's say, okay, I can give any size, but the minimum should be 10. Okay, if I give 9, then should show thumbs. Okay, it should be showing some error. So you'll be getting notification back. It should be minimum 10. Okay, so I'll select that one. And I'm going to deploy an like a simple web server, right? So For that, I will just select this firewall HTTP firewall rule. I'm just applying to this machine. So I'm just creating. Now we'll see how much time it will take for creating the machine. And in like in the bell icon, you can see the status of the task which we are just executing. So it should not take that much time usually. In less than a minute, it will be provisioned. Okay, so our machine has been created. So we'll just see here what is the status. Still, machine is created. Okay, yeah, created. So we can see our the status is instance is running, and this is the name of the machine which I have provided, my app, and my machine where it my machine is. My machine is in US Central 1A, and my machine is having one internal IP and one external IP, and this is how you are going to connect to my machine, right? So I will just SSH it. Okay. Okay, so I have connected to my machines. So we'll do one thing. We will just sudo apt update, and we will install the Apache. So first, what we will do, we will do an update here, and this is we are just doing an update, and after that, we are going to install the Apache. So once the installation is completed, we will be checking the status. Okay, so Apache installation has been done. So we'll check the status. So it is showing, Apache is all running. So we'll just see from here also. So you can see it, right? I'm able to access that application using the external IP address. So external IP address is something like how I can communicate with anything on the on GCP. So for that we are having external IP address. Internal IP address is right. For example, if I'm having any let's say if I'm having any other machine, right, my app one or my app two. So in that case, those two machines will talk to each other using internal IP. External IP, as the name implies, it is something like if for the external environment or the external network. For that, we are having external IP. And for example, right, let's say tomorrow there is another requirement like I want to do some changes in the machines, right? So that also we can do here. We can go and do the edit option, right? We can go to edit option and we can change. Like the name cannot be changed. The once the name is fixed, it cannot be changed. So all the other things, like tomorrow, if you instead of HTTP, if you need to add an HTTPS firewall rule, then you can do that also. For example, if I want to add HTTPS firewall rule, then I can do that also. Or if I want to add any new additional disk, then I can do that also. And metadata, and like if I want to add my labels, so labels will be like how are going to identify if tomorrow if any other guy is accessing the system, right? You want to know who is the owner of the system. So I can give like, owner of the system is, let's say, you know, testing team. Okay, so that I can. Okay, space is not allowed. So similar to that, other than label, okay, I can go do like, the which environment this system belongs to. So I will be giving testing. So similar to that, I can add the that details also, and I can just save. So that will be updated automatically in your machines. So here you can see, right? It is just running. If any a task is failed, also, you will be getting a red notification. Like, for example, if this task is failing, then you will be getting a notification, right? Like, that task has been failed. And if you do any changes, after that you need to try again. So that's how it works here. And let's go to the PPT. So these are the, all the locations which are currently. This is actually bit old, a picture of the Google data center. Yes. Okay, it's new only. You can see the Delhi in Mumbai. So all the blue ones which are currently data center, and the future zone which is like, which are in the white. So these are all the data centers available in the for the Google Cloud. So like in US, you are having this much, Europe and Delhi and all other regions. And these are the various services we are having. So compute, which is a service which we have just saw. Like compute is nothing but your virtual machine, like your Windows or Linux virtual machines. Then we have storage and databases, then networking, and for identity and security also we are having. Then cloud AI, it is for the like artificial intelligence applications, and for big data and Hadoop application also we are having. Then management tools, like how we are going to monitor application based on users or CPU utilization, or what system getting down. For that also we are having. Then internet and IoT related things, then data transfers. So this is kind of a detailed kind of thing. So compute engine, which we just saw. Containers is something called as, if you are familiar, if you're familiar with the term like Kubernetes, right? So for that, it's actually comes under this one, container engine. Here it is called as GKE, that is Google Kubernetes engine. And app engine is more like, the developers will be using. And storage, we have these many, like cloud storage. So in cloud storage we'll be storing all the log files, or temporary dump images, or some other kind of object level of storage we'll be doing in the cloud storage. And cloud data store will be using, if your application is based on mobile, like any Android application will be having. Then for that you will be having cloud data store. And cloud SQL is more like relational. So in cloud SQL for Google Cloud, it is offering two kind of database services, that is PostgreSQL and MS SQL. And cloud big table is like, let's say, if you are doing any IoT kind of a projects, right? So for that you will be having, you will be using cloud big table. So based on each category or each scenario, right? So you will be using that kind of a service. So BigQuery is more like, data warehouse. And cloud data flow, it is like more like, if I compare with the on-premise kind of a solution. So let's if you have heard of Apache Beam services and all, so similar to that we are having cloud data flow here. And cloud data proc is more like Hadoop kind of service. Let's assume like, you are in on-premise, you are having Hadoop services, and you are going to decommission the data center and moving everything to the GCP. So in that case, you will be utilizing cloud data proc, and cloud pub is more like message service or event based kind of service. And we are other like cloud endpoints, and the translate API it's more like like how to going to convert the languages, and prediction API is more like more of analytics and all. So this is so this is more of networking, like virtual VPC, that is virtual private cloud, then cloud load balancing, CDN for better performance, then external IP address, which we have just showed it. So using external IP address only, we are able to access our application in the web browser. Then cloud firewall rules, then cloud router if you are going to connect it to any external network, like tomorrow, like let's say like you're going to connect within GCP to AWS or GCP to Azure or GCP to on-premise, then you will be utilizing cloud router mostly. Then dedicated interconnect, then DNS networking, again cloud route is there two times. Okay, VPN, partner interconnect. Cloud armor is more like security kind of thing. It is more like it comes under the cloud security, cloud armor and all. Okay, so this, as I said, this is the link for starting Google free tier account. So if you're able to start free tier account, that will be good. Or else, we need to start a QLab account for that. So this is how your organization looks in the Google Cloud, right? For example, like, as I'm saying 2 or 3 times, right? Like you're moving your data to Google Cloud. So you should be knowing like how my organization data will be looking in the how my organization will be placed in the Google Cloud. So this is a great picture for that. For example, your company is visualpath.com. So how the visualpath.com will be migrated to cloud and how it look like. So it will be like this only. So in the organization, it will be visualpath.com, and inside the next hierarchy is like folders. So it will be like department of students or department of trainers, then sales team and other than that. And inside that you will be having projects. So I'll just show you here. So this is what they are referring here. Here I can't start. We can start an we cannot register an organization because to register an organization you actually need a your own domain name. Okay, so what I'm saying is like instead of if you look at any enterprise kind of project, right, or any real-time customer environment, in place of no organization, that will be the company ID. For example, TCS.com or Visualpath.com or CTS.com or Wipro.com or something like that. So that will be the root node. That will be the top level. And inside of that, that can be folders or that can be projects. So inside of that one, there can be projects. For example, just assume like QuickLab resources is like your sales project. So inside QuickLab resources, I will be having uh, sales related compute engine, sales related database, sales related all the files and everything. And next I'm going to start a project which is known as finance. So inside of finance, I will be uh, like inside of finance, here you can see the project ID is changing. So instead of finance, I will be provisioning the compute engine that is based on the finance and database that is based on finance or something like that. So tomorrow, let's say another team is joining. Let's say I'm going to start another division in some other place. So what I can do, I can go and I can start a new project. Okay, here I cannot start because I have some authorization issue, because as I said, like, the slab environment is temporary, it will be get destroyed. So I'm having some authorization constraint here. So I can start another new projects here. I can name it, my project is like let's say, if let's assume like tomorrow I'm going to give a lab environment for my students. So I will be placing all, I'll be starting first, I'll be starting a new project, then I will be tagging into a billing account. Okay, then I'll be going with the location is nothing but the organization. So here the organization will be visualpath.com and I'll be going to create it. Okay, and once I created that project, then I will be providing you like once the project is created, then I will be providing access for all the students in that particular project so they can do that. So this is how it is happening in the organizations. And here you can see that you have 12 projects remaining in the quota. So this is the quota is nothing but the limit. So GCP is having quota for each and every resources. So the main the point of making quota is like you will not uh, expect unexpected cost during the end of the month. So for that reason only, they have provided these many quotas. But let's say tomorrow instead of 12, you have reached a limit of 11, and tomorrow you need another two projects. So what you will do? Can I increase that? Yes, I can increase that. I will just need to request the Google technical team, or I can just create a ticket using this one. Get support. If I go to get support and I can go and create a ticket, then they can increase the number of quotas, like number of projects in this particular my account, and I can create another projects. So this is how it works like that. So this is more like I can say GCP how architecture, how the GCP architecture like your company will be placing in the GCP, and this is one for certifications. So GCP is mainly having three certifications, three specialization. You can see. So the first one is having Google Cloud Associate. So for Google Cloud Associate, they will expect you to have good hands-on most of the Google Cloud services like compute engine, networking, then firewall, and those kind of things. Professional is something like in with hands-on experience also they will expect you to have some consulting experience also. So in professional exam you will be asked questions on use cases. So there are few use cases in the Google Cloud website, so they will be asking that use cases will be something like the customer is going to migrate to the Google Cloud platform, so which are the services you will like to offer to the customer. Like I said, right? If my on-premise is having Hadoop, so which similar services will be offering in the GCP? So the answer will be Cloud Data Proc. So similar to like that. And Cloud Digital Leader is like they have recently introduced this certification. So they for clearing to Cloud Digital Leader, you need to have a basic of cloud computing, like basic knowledge on cloud computing. Plus, you need to know the services and all. So that's it about my demo. Let me know if you have any questions on certifications or topics or.
Arjun Narendra here.
Yeah, madam.
Yeah, I just want to understand, are you going to cover Windows, Google Cloud, and Data Cloud, both of them, right? Or what are all the topics you're going to cover in this Google GCP?
Mainly, I'll be covering the infrastructure side, like provisioning the compute engine. Then there is something called as snapshots. I will just show you. Okay, I forgot to show you this one. So, cloud computing, then GCP architecture, then building IAM. Okay, so from this one, like let's say the creation of Linux and Windows machines, so that is not that will not make much difference in here.
Mhm.
So
That's
what
okay, I understand.
yeah, so more it's like how we are going to attach the disk, how are going to resize it, then how are you dealing with the snapshot, how to handle the images, then auto scaling, which I just showed you, right? Like based on which on criteria we are going to auto scale the servers. And other main part will be networking, like VPC creation, what is VPC peering, then load balancing and firewalls, VPN setup. So other than that, and the last is like this is more kind of this will not be asked in the certification, but this is more the thing which I included from my project experience. So this is like cloud migration. What are the types of there are some types of RLANs which comes to migration. Then what are the phases of migration? Then which is the Google Cloud migration tool which you are using, and what are the pre-steps and post-steps of migration. So like that.
Okay. Will you help us to connect with LDAP? LDAP with connecting the different system or cyber or kind of stuff, integrating this platform. Is it
For
possible?
LDAP and all, it's the service is there for that domain everything is needed. So
Okay.
for connecting LDAP and all, honestly I don't have experience.
No, I'm just asking Arjun in terms of because we are planning to do that setup in our office, so we just want to understand theoretically at least, not practical.
Okay. Just and let me know like so you're having an on-premise, you're having an LDAP, and you are going to migrate it to Google Cloud, right?
Yes, we are already in AWS. We want to move it to
Okay. So in GCP, actually, when it comes to authorization, right, three times there are three ways which we can connect. One thing is like G Suite. So G Suite is something like like let's say
Google
tomorrow I'm
Cloud.
going to start a company. Yeah, tomorrow I'm going to start a company, and I don't have I have freshly installing everything, instant my authorization, IAM, everything. So I'll be going with the G Suite. So in your case, let's say in on-premise I'm already having
AWS.
Active Directory. Yeah, Active Directory or AWS or LDAP. So in Google Cloud, what I'm having, I'll be having something called as GCDS. So this is more like Google Cloud directory sync services. So it is more like it will be replicating all the data from Active Directory to GCDS in one way.
Okay.
Okay, it will be
So
okay. So what you can create user everything in the Active Directory itself, but it will be get replicated to GCP.
fine, thank you. Because I just want to understand that as well. And data
Okay,
path
okay.
you are giving some
Yeah,
knowledge, right? Okay. Thanks.
yeah. And in one of my project, with what I have used, like customer was using a third party authorization. Have you heard of Okta and all?
Yeah.
There is some Okta. So what there what
Okta,
we have done is like Okta integration. So it is like SSO. So
Microsoft
we yeah
cannot
yeah
remote
yeah. So if we yeah so if
video
we they just need to give access to Okta. Okay, so they can able to sign in the GCP also.
Okay, you mean to say the Active Directory is connecting with Okta where you will have a single sign-on, that is a different service.
Yeah, yeah.
That you are going
No,
to
no,
integrate GCP, right?
no. Okta is completely a third-party solution, SSO solution. In
Yeah.
on-premise, in on-premise, customer is already using an Okta services. Okay, so when they are moving to GCP,
Hmm.
okay, so we are signing with this Okta authentication only.
Oh, super. At least you can give some overview, right? I'm not
Yeah,
experienced.
on
So,
GCDS I can give. On GCDS I can give. A practical I can't
yeah,
show
I
you
know.
for
That is
GCDS.
difficult. You
Yeah,
can't.
yeah.
I
Okay.
will see if there is any Active Directory I can build it and give it to you. Probably you can help me out on
Yeah, sure.
that. I'll try that.
Someone has pinged me. Okay, yeah, sure.
Hello, Arjun. Mahendra here.
Yeah,
Yeah. Can you share the syllabus with us? Just now I joined actually. I was late and now just
20.
now I joined actually. Not able to.
okay, you want this one or the PPT?
Whatever. Like I'm not sure. Just I'm just checking. I don't know what you're showing.
Okay, no, this is just the topic, and this is,
Okay. What are the course
yeah.
content?
Just
That is
let me
more
know
important.
like which one you want. Okay, okay, sure, sure. Yeah, sure.
Okay, when we can expect the batch start date?
Which one? Hello.
I think Narendra is asking something about the starting date of batch.
That
Hello.
that you need to check with the Visualpath because 2 days back only I got the notification for this demo class. I'm not sure about this.
Oh, what is the duration for this one?
This one we can complete in within 1 month.
Okay.
Okay, per day, how many hours
Like
working?
last batch. Uh, okay, I'll tell you my experience with the last batch. So we had 2 to 3 students. So what I usually do is like let's assume I'll create a computer engine with startup script. First I show the demo. I mean in the lab. Then I ask the students to share the screen and do at the same time. So it was more like detailed kind of thing. So we went very slow phase. So it almost took 30 days you can say, almost a month. So daily like a morning, uh, 1 hour we connected. Solution and of that. Okay, so that is seconds. So I'm more on the infrastructure side, Shivani. What I think what you're asking is like which
Yes,
solution
sir.
on ad hoc. Okay, okay. Data uploads to GCP.
Yeah.
What kind of data is like on-premise? What kind of data you're having?
On daily basis, in any healthcare, I'm working to the healthcare, one of the healthcare, and we have multiple hospitals. From the hospitals, everyday basis, uh, nurses and doctors, they will send us data. So in order to from their end, in order to upload um, and processing to GCP, we need some solutions. So I'm looking for the solutions. So will you be able to help on this?
Honestly, data part I don't have that much experience, but I can
Okay.
check on this actually. What kind of data? It's like a structured kind of data, or that you have any information?
Yes, structured data only.
Okay.
I can also provide you more details on this.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah, if you're able to give some time, I can able to provide some information.
Yeah, sure. I will try to help it. If this is my mail ID. Uh, 1 second. Um, okay, this is my mail ID. Just send me. I'll try to check.
Sounds great. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Arjun, when you guys can start the batch so that we can take call accordingly. Arjun,
Yeah,
are you
that
able
I
to
need
hear?
to. I mean, yeah, I can hear you. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Arjun.
Yeah, that you need to check with the visual path. And what is the time you are preferring? Like morning, I will be occupied. So,
Morning, I'm looking
do
for,
you
not
prefer
in the evening.
weekend? Okay, morning.
Uh,
What time?
you tell me anytime in the morning. I'm okay with any time in the morning.
Like till when you are free? Like
No, I will take a time out till 10 o'clock. I'm free. After that also, I'm will post lunch. I will take a time out for this. No worries.
okay, post lunch. It won't be. I won't be available. So we can have
I
around. I
told you
mean,
like
I just need to
before.
Yeah, yeah. I just need to check on that. We can have it
Mhm.
morning. That's fine. Okay, the timing I
Fine,
will
thanks.
just inform you.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
if you want, I can share my number.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And ask Visualpath admin team to call me now so that I can talk to them. Because tomorrow
Yeah,
morning
sure.
I'm in a travel. If they are available, I ask them to call me.
Yeah, sure. Okay, okay.
Okay. I will send my message to you, my mobile number. You can give them.
Yeah, sure. Okay, okay.
Thank you, Arjun.
Yeah, sure. Okay, sure.
Yeah. Nice talking to you.
Yeah, same here. Bye.
ఇదిగో అన్న నేను రేపు మార్నింగ్ వస్తాను ఆఫీస్కి మళ్ళీ తీసుకుంటాను సరేనా బాయ్
Arjun.
Hi.
Yeah, Mahendra here. So, what is
Yeah,
the
tell
fee
me.
structure?
That you need to check with the Visualpath because the last batch which I attended, it was on November. So you need to check with them.
Okay. Approximate,
So
I can.
yes, no, that I don't have any idea about that. That is the new and students and Visualpath. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
బాయ్
if you have any queries, right, you can contact them. So they will be redirecting the questions or anything for me. So I'll be answering
Yeah.
that. Not an issue.
So, can you please share this course content topic which we are going to cover in the course?
Yeah, I'll share with the Visualpath. He'll be sharing with you.
Okay, no problem. If you can just copy paste
This one
it
you want, right?
in
Course
chat.
content topic.
Yeah. Like I just now I joined, so I was not
Um,
sure what have the discussion
చూసుకుంటావా
like.
okay.
బాయ్
Chat, I'm not sure if it will come or not.
do me a
Just for
favor
reference, like
if possible ask admin to send us WhatsApp of this course content so that we can take it from there.
that also good.
Yeah, sure. I will inform the admin team. That will be fine. Either rather than sharing one by one individually, that will be good.
Yeah, ask them to
Even if
share
I
the
share in the chat also, it won't come good. Okay.
yeah
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Arjun, if you don't
Okay.
mind, hello,
Yeah, tell me.
Arjun. If you don't
Yeah, I
mind,
can hear you.
you can help us something little bit on data, like how to install, how to create that stuff. So, if possible. So, hello.
Okay, you mean on the big data kind of infra?
No. Normal SQL Server data. How we are going to connect? See, so small .NET application connect with the server, so that we can understand how this services will work. Probably after joining the class,
Okay.
I will tell you how to do that. If you want systems or
Yeah, sure.
application,
You're from okay. You're from DB background or
no, I'm a .NET architect now. Currently, I'm an RPA architect, so I'm heading the
okay.
RPA. So I want to move this
Oh,
entire stuff to UiPath into Google
GCP.
Cloud Platform.
Okay. Sure. Okay, sure.
After joining, I will
Okay.
give you my
I
detailed entry.
Yeah, sure. Okay, sure. We can check on that.
Okay.
No issue.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Ask the
sure.
team,
Okay.
Visualpath
Thank you.
team to call me right away so I can fix them on
Yeah,
the
sure.
timings. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Yeah, Narendra, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Narendra.
Okay, sure. Thank you. Okay, so I have to go now, fortunately. So if you have any question, just connect with the Visualpath team. They will be contacting you.
Uh,
Anything
Hi
related to
Arjun.
syllabus or any other timing and all.
Hi Arjun. Am I
Yeah,
audible?
hi.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just question. What would be the depth of this course? It would be like a associate level certification or a professional level. If I will talk related with the Google certification.
Uh, See, we will be doing hands-ons also. So the only difference between associate and professional certificate is like in professional certificate, you will be like 40% of the question will be based on use cases.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so use cases will be something like, the in GCP website also, if you see, they have given, 4 to 5 business cases. So based on that, they will be asking questions. Okay, if I tell you one of the business cases when I attended, it will be like, a customer, an IoT customer, it's going to migrate to Google Cloud. So that will be the scenario. Okay, so based on this one particular use case, you will be asking, then they will be asking 4 to 5 questions like, what are the services you are going to offer. So in this question, we need to check like, okay, so similar to IoT services, what services I am having on Google. And the second thing is like, uh, like how I'm going to connect between Google and my on-premise data center. So based on that, 3 4 use cases will be. So that is the only difference. But if you are a fresher, like on certification level in GCP, then it's better to go for associate cloud engineer. After that, you go for the professional.
No, no, I'm not interested in certification. Actually, I'm experienced Google Cloud engineer in different domain. I have OpenStack
Okay,
experience, very long experience. I
okay, okay.
just want to know that how much you will cover Kubernetes engine in this course. Means how many session?
Kubernetes, I will be like just a deploy. I mean, going on the Kubernetes architecture. Plus, I will be deploying an sample application on Kubernetes. Not that much. I will be doing mostly. I like the core of the course, which I can tell you, is more like, the infrastructure and the networking, firewall, those kind of part. Kubernetes will be going through, but not that much deep.
Okay. If I have administration, actually I completed CK and CKS in Kubernetes. I already certified. I
Okay,
just
okay,
want to know
okay, okay.
what is the difference when we will talk in terms of Google. Actually, I'm completely new in Google Cloud. I just want to know that how it will differ in the open source version and the Google Cloud uh, version of Kubernetes.
Like in the open source, you will be having control of the master and the other node, right? Like the worker node.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the open source version, like a normal, if you're installing like, Kubernetes as a fresher. But in Google Cloud, the difference is like the master node is entirely controlled by the Google Cloud. So you will
Mm-hmm.
only be working in the worker node only here.
Okay. And what I feel that the biggest challenge initially, what I'm feeling that the user management part means how we will create the user in the Google Cloud for Kubernetes user. So will you cover something in this direction in this course?
And like IAM will be covering, and user, uh, like Kubernetes, I mean security part you're telling, or just like
No, 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 just
Kubernetes
normal
organization.
management, user management, just normal user
User,
management.
yeah, user management here. It's something like a IAM we having, so that we can cover.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So in
Okay.
lab you
Thank
can
you.
see, yeah, building in the IAM is that, yeah, something.
IAM role and permissions, service
Yeah,
accounts.
yeah, roles and permission, service accounts, so those kind of things.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, okay, thank you. So okay, thanks for joining and ending the session. So if you have any questions, just
Arjun, one question.
connect with the.
Arjun, one last question.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure, sure.
Sorry for interrupting.
No, no, sure.
So,
Tell me.
like, what happens? What happens? Like, I work on the AWS previously.
Okay.
Now I
Hmm.
move to the Google Cloud. But
Okay.
like, as you like AWS, like there are some documentations and all those things. Now I am
Hmm.
handling the Google Cloud related activities. We have Google Cloud,
Okay.
Terraform, Kubernetes, all those things. But the challenge is that
Oh,
I'm not able to correlate a lot of things in the GCP. Okay, so like maybe I'm
okay.
not able to find out some good document as AWS. Okay, uh,
Yeah,
that is
documentation part
one challenge.
GCP is a bit
And
less. Yeah. So in which aspects you're
so
having
the,
confusion like?
So confusion is that, like, I know, like EC2 and the compute engine, okay, there is a like similarity in all the things, but like still and the other big challenge is that we have only the Terraform code. Actually, we don't have console access to do these all things. Okay, at least we can
Okay.
in the GUI console we can click here and there and at least try it. Okay, this is working or not. But we have the Terraform for that. We don't have any console
Okay.
access to
Okay.
perform any activities. That is the big challenge,
Okay.
and everything can't be assumed in the code actually. As I work on infrastructure side from last 15 years, so and the confusion is that, like, I'm not able to correlate much services in GCP. So trying to understand, okay, each and every services, okay, like, and not each and every services, but at least infrastructure point of view, what it is.
Okay, the see, one of the main differences, like if you compare GCP and AWS, is the VPC.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's assume in AWS, if your customer is having, a global footprint across the globe, and your customer is having, let's say, users in India and users in United States. Okay, so if you are
Mhm.
in AWS, what you'll do, you will be creating a separate VPC for United States. You will be creating a separate VPC for
Correct.
India. But in
Correct.
GCP, only one VPC is enough because VPCs are global here.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so if you create just one VPC, and if you create just two subnet ranges for India and the US, then you can do that. So that management is there. And another thing, like customize, like in AWS we are having T1, T2, T3, then C1, C2, C3,
Right,
that
right.
class of machines, right?
Customers.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So
Mhm.
in GCP, there is an option for customizable. For example, uh, AWS is having only fixed
So
size
you can
machine, right? Like in
customize.
one CPU, one, yeah,
Correct.
like yeah, in AWS we can have only one CPU plus two core, right? So in GCP we
Yeah, that is
can,
the
change that, change that. Yeah, and the firewall rule is also kind of different in here. Like if you compare firewall with in AWS security group, right? So firewall, it
security
is
group. Yes,
in
yes.
GCP, yeah, yeah. In GCP, the firewall is more like tags, network tags. I don't know whether you have
Yes,
noticed
yes.
today
I'm confused. No.
when I'm
Yes,
giving
I'm
that
confused there
HTTP, right?
also.
So okay, when you are giving that HTTP firewall, right? In below, it
Mhm.
automatically is updating a tag, which is called HTTP hyphen server.
Yes, yes.
So that
I will not.
we go through when we'll go through the networking part. So that is another thing.
Okay. Yes, let's see. Like
Yeah, sure, sure.
our.
Okay, sure. Okay, okay. Bye.
Sure. Thank you very much. Yep.
Okay, sure.